Tamika Joy. It's the stars with Tamika Joy. It's the stars with Tamika Joy. It's the stars with Tamika Joy. Feeling real good, feeling all fly. Put the headphones on, it's time to get live. It's the stars with Tamika Joy. It's the stars with Tamika Joy. Tune into the show, it's a vibe and flow. Chime in and tell me what you know. Yeah, it's Tamika Joy. It's the stars with 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 Tamika Joy. Yes. Say hi, Dior. Blow 'em kisses. I'll see you later. You wish Grandma a happy show? We're going to have a great show, y'all. Again, Tamika Joy, Harris Russell. I am so happy to be here. It's Friday. We made it. You made it. Thank you so much for tuning in to another great show of the stars with Tamika Joy. We got a big show today. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Tune in, share it, comment. We're going to really talk a little bit. Of course, it is October and domestic violence, anti-bully awareness, and mental health this month, of course, and breast cancer. October is a big month, and I'm here to be a support to all of them. So today we will be talking about domestic violence as I wear my purple. Not only do I wear my purple for today, I realized, and I had to miss a good friend, Angie, that passed away. My sister, they buried her today, and I saw the family, they wore their purple, so I'm wearing my purple to honor my sister that was not able to go and give my respects, but she knows, the respect was mutual when she was here on the flesh. So she's gone, and she know I loved her. So respect to you and the family, Angie, and may you continue to watch over those beautiful children and your husband. There's so much in October, y'all. And the enemy has been challenging me in so many different ways, but to God be the glory. I'm going to call real quick, you guys. I need y'all to listen real quick as I call my sister, cousin, girlfriend, because today is her birthday. So I'm calling my cousin live. And because I know she ain't watching. Just ain't. Hold up, y'all. I'm sorry. Where you at? Ebony Lucretia Cruz. I'm going to need you. Okay, here we go. It's so hard to call a number. Here we go. Hopefully she answers. Let's see. She know I forgot. She thought I forgot. She probably out eating. She answered.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
She gonna get this voicemail though.
30164222691 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ebony. Happy birthday to you. Girl, you got me looking like a fool over here. I'm going live with the people on Facebook for the show, trying to surprise you to say happy birthday. I love you. Call me when you get a chance. Bye, Chad. That's what we call each other, Chad. many Libras, man. My husband was last week. Ebony, my godmother was the first. DJs is next. It's actually this Sunday. It's so many Libras. Libra season. Happy birthday to all you Libras. Happy anniversary to all my loves out there doing it up, showing much, much respect. Those are the strong people right there. Happy anniversary to y'all. Um, so last week was really crazy. Um, we had our bully walk. We had our fourth annual bully walk, and we had a ball. Yes, we had a ball. Our fourth annual bully walk, anti-bully walk last week was so much fun. We did it up. Of course, COVID is still in the play. We're still in the pandemic, y'all. So we had it at our office in the parking lot, and it was really great. We had some great speakers. Shout out to Miss Belinda Queen, who is Prince George's County's um, a member of the Education Prince George's County School Board. Um, we had Captain Poole. We had Jack Campbell, Tisha Campbell's brother. We had some of the great children representing Rosebud, Ireland, Mac. Well, don't want you to call him Mac Man. You want to call him Malcolm Mac Man. So many great stories. So many people were able to network, and I just feel so good that people are really chiming in and really wanting to make a difference by joining the force and the movement of the anti-bully no walk, book walk. And as we actually go to next year, October 8th, we've already set the date, and we're ready to rock and roll for next year. So make sure y'all stay tuned and keep in with us for next year. Really appreciate you guys for that. Of course, like I said, bullying is October. Breast cancer is October. Which of course I lost my grandmother, never got to see her to breast cancer. So I'm definitely an advocate and a supporter for that. And then of course mental health. Y'all know I have two children that I deal with that, and domestic violence. And so our first guest, she is someone that definitely is, representing and making a difference in the community. So we're gonna bring her up, and Minister Kesha Dunigan, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I thank you so much for being here. I truly do. Um, so I wanted to talk with you a little bit. Of course, I know we live, and I just called her, so it'd be my luck that as soon as we get to talking, she called me right back. And I get disturbed by her phone call, so I'm gonna silence my phone real quick. But thank you so much for being on the show. I truly appreciate you wanting to come in and talk to people about as we represent and talk a little bit about domestic violence. I'm all about health and wealth, and just us being better people. So, can you tell people a little bit about you?
Well, I am the owner and CEO of Me Healing Company. We offer spiritual counseling, life coach, and spiritual warfare training as well. Because we believe that in the process of you doing the work, whether it be mental health with counselor, cognitive work that we say, and a lot of times we find that that's not enough. And we're still missing something. And so we go into these different alternatives to try to find what it is that we're missing because we still feel uh, laden with something that we can't see, we can't explain. And so this is where my ministry comes in at, because then we have to do the work in the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we help people transition in that and really just learn about the different spiritual levels of warfare that's on the body, on the mind, of course, that's the biggest one. But if you don't know what you're fighting, so you cannot really address it. And so it goes a little bit deeper than that, but that's just generally what I do. I also work with nonprofits with domestic violence and sexual abuse. Um, my thing is to help them um, with anger. That's my expertise, is helping individuals address their anger, because you know life after the pain. What is that? What are you left after the pain? You're left with some residual things, and you don't always have the tools, and you don't always have the resources in order to be able to address those things.
Yes, I absolutely agree. So, and you're part of. You said you're part of different organizations and nonprofits, and work with them.
Yes.
What is or um, what are some of the nonprofits that you work with that deal with domestic violence? If you know.
Stop stealing our souls.
Hmm.
Lakeisha Davis Smalls. She's a real
Hmm.
big advocate. She
Hmm.
really helps the community navigate
Uh-oh.
these.
I think she's pausing. Uh-oh. I tell you, this enemy is really trying me. Really, really trying me because I'm getting ready to step in somewhere. um, I don't know. Well, let's take a break. If we could take a little break, run a commercial real quick and see where Minister Kesha can get her back on. So y'all. Okay, okay, okay. I don't know what happened, but
Yikes!
we're here.
It must be some of that West Coast
Wait.
air. Wow.
I'm telling you, it's strong right now.
It's
I'm
okay.
telling you.
It's okay,
Yeah,
but we stronger. That's so it's all good.
that's right. Amen.
So, you asked me who have I worked with, and so I was explaining I work with Miss Lakeisha Davis Small with Stop Stealing Our Souls. You know, she's a big
Mm.
advocate out there in the DMV area.
Yes.
Um,
Yes,
also worked on
yes.
a project with her with Mama Safe Haven House. I volunteered with her
Hmm.
and offering my services there. Also, my mentor and also my ordained minister actually work with her. She's Miss Dr. Apostle, I say Dr. Apostle Marie Armistead. She is Touched by Hands Grace Ministries, and so she deals with domestic violence. She also addresses those things in the spiritual warfare. She has a couple of books out that actually speak to domestic violence being spiritual warfare. She uh, documents how that is. And so I encourage you guys to look her up on Facebook as
Okay.
Marie, Mari, Armistead on
Okay.
Facebook Live. So check her out. So that's just a few that I would name. I also work with a few mental health representatives. I wish not to mention their names, but I do have
Yes.
some contracts and things out there that I
Okay.
work with their people. So I get referrals,
Mm-hmm.
um, and we build from there. So it's all about building relationships in different areas. But my specialty actually is in disability. So a lot of my contacts come from that arena. And when you talk about domestic violence and you talk about mental health, that population often is an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, it's many times when uh, people come for resources, they usually have undocumented disabilities, and those things get missed in the interview process. And oftentimes, people are combative, and they don't know why. But it's because it's already compound with you have a serious situation, and now I'm facing barriers to resources, and so that's something that I work in.
Okay. Okay. And I know that's definitely courageous of you, and I know that's a lot. That is a whole lot from, I mean, one entity, you're taking on and a part of both. And I know that's a challenge in itself, dealing with someone that's within the mental, and of course with the mental being abused. And I know that those are people that are overlooked. And, that's what STARS represents as far as my company, is the adversity. And it's people that are overlooked. And that is something that we don't typically think about. What about the people that have the disabilities that don't have the voice to talk? What about that? And what does that look like? Um, could you tell me and share with me, without, of course, going into, details of such, on the surface, some of the experience of being involved with that?
Well, you don't oftentimes I can just speak from my experience personally and professionally, and it's often a struggle to self-advocate. So
Mm.
and sometimes abuse starts in the home. So when we
Mm-hmm.
think about domestic violence, we think it's an adult situation, but no,
Mm-hmm.
domestic violence it takes on different faces and different definitions, and it can start in the home. It can happen in schools. We see
Mm-hmm.
things. It happens in the medical community. Um, you have individuals that are in relationships that may not have been given the necessary tools to be able to speak up, and being an individual with a disability, you have a vulnerability. You have a vulnerability because you know that you have this thing, and yet you want to be normal, and so you tend to cling to situations and persons that can give you somewhat of that normalcy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's normal. But from the outside looking in, and something that you have been caressed in and grown in and fed, this is all you know. And so
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes we don't recognize that. Oftentimes you go into healthcare places to get help, and the person may be combative, and you just think that they're combative and they're just out of control, but never do anyone ever think that maybe there's an underlying something else that
Mm-hmm.
has to be addressed. And I myself, I'm an individual with disability. I'm deaf legally. I should not be verbal. but I am. And one of the things I had to learn was to be able to speak up. I've been in those situations of being abused. And I'm thinking that if I'm quiet and I just do the right thing, then I'm going to be able to get what it is I need, only to find out later that the right thing doesn't come because whoever you're depending on that's not giving you the right thing, they're not ever going to really give you that. But you don't know that until you don't know what you don't know until you learn. And so my biggest thing is to empower not just individuals with disabilities, but just be inclusive overall because you just don't know people's walks of life. And again, many times, especially in our Black community, many of us walk around with undocumented disabilities. Family usually steps in and helps and shield us and protect us the best that they know how. But then we miss those integral details that allow us to be able to speak up if something happens and to be able to address those things. And let's not even talk about moving into the adult arena and trying to access um, resources. A lot of times resources are not available. So now you're stuck in a situation where you are frustrated because you already in an impossible situation and you see a little bit of glimmer of hope and then you run into a barrier because someone doesn't have the skill set in order to be able to identify those things. They have the skill set to do intake if you're coming in for resources, but many times those resource officers do not have the skill set when it comes to identifying and working with people with disabilities to tear down the barriers to equipment, to communication, different
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So it's a double-edged sword, and again, in every part of life. In this world, whether it's the political arena or otherwise, the disability population seems to be an afterthought. It seems like something goes into play and then it becomes a norm, and then you have to back up and you have to look at the infrastructure and see how we can piece together and make opportunities and open up, and tear down barriers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. I tell you, the way that they have it set up with some of the stuff for, people with disabilities it's heartbreaking, um, to just think of how, um, they have it for. I wanted to get another young brother on the call today, and I work with him, and he has a disability, and he's always talking, and he always wants to just have that voice, and he wants to be married, he wants kids, and like and he's very like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh, but he brings joy to my heart, because he's just a lovable guy. He is a Caucasian guy, and he wants a mixed kid, and he makes it very clear that that's the color child he wants. I want a mixed child. I want a mixed child, and I want to be married. And he just wants to work, and he's just like the government. They even make them spend their money, or get in their head to make them spend their money all every month, so that they can continue to rely on him. Like, he's that hip. Like, I'm not going to spend my money. They make me work all these, I can only work a certain amount, and then they want me to spend all my money. He's like, I mean, he's so like, I love this guy, and I wish he really was on the call, because it would really be, I mean, for you guys to kind of have that connection and kind of talk a little bit with him, actually experience some of the things when it comes to, having a disability, and having, and dealing with mental health, and being, abuse, a part of it, emotional abuse. Really, that's what it is. And it's just challenging for him. And so,
Well,
But
let me just, I'm sorry to interject, but it's not just emotional abuse. Many times people need assistive technology. And so those things are not offered. And you have
true.
caretakers that will destroy those things so the person cannot communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And then oftentimes, again, you go in for the resources and the resources are not there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big thing, and we see it in the news, even for being pulled over by the police. Those are things. You're deaf. You may not be verbal, or you may be verbal, but it may not be clear. And
Mm-hmm.
so you need that extra uh, assistance in order to be
Mm-hmm.
able to be treated like everyone else. You're getting pulled over like everyone else, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting the same type of level of communication and support in order to be able to understand the things that are important to you
Right.
and to the situation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, it is very, very, what would you say, um, could be some of the things that would be help or support? And I know the list can go on and on and on, because I mean, you can't get enough of support and people just speaking up. But if you could say three things, from the top of your head, that you think that will work or needs to be in place right now, what would those be?
I think the biggest thing is having the knowledge, having
Mm,
someone training someone on your staff, regardless of whatever industry you're in, that is versed in that
mm,
has that understanding, not just from the legal standpoint, but also just the interpersonal standpoint, just being taking that extra time and that compassion to have to encourage the person. I think the other thing is just making it a part of your business to have resources available such as assistive technology, whether it be a video phone with interpreter, or you have a closed captioning. There's so many different apps out there that makes communication such an easy thing, and that's just for the deaf and hard of hearing, and for those who are blind visually challenged. But just taking that time, I think that's the biggest thing. We get so desensitized to what we do, so
mm-hmm,
therefore that it doesn't cross our mind that we may have to take that little extra step, and just really just doing a scan to make sure that you're covering, make sure you don't have any blind spots that would introduce barriers
mm-hmm.
to
Absolutely.
sensitive populations, and just get out in your community and make those connections with the different organizations out there
Mm-hmm,
that can lend a hand and give you and help with some of the resources, doing shared resources and collaboration together. I think that's the biggest thing, is just not understanding that when you talk about domestic violence and you talk about mental health, um, you should have a myriad of community collaborations going on in the different areas.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Absolutely. I definitely, I appreciate everything, you shared and your experience, and then just also sharing, how you just living, day to day, and how people should be more aware of, those with those adversities, because it's important. It's definitely important and it's needed. And all you got to do is just take one small more moment, to be able to be a helping hand to someone that may not have all the tools that you have. And so that's what we're supposed to be here to do. But a lot of people don't get it. So I'm here for you in any way that I can possibly be. I truly appreciate you being on the call and sharing. I'll definitely be having you back on because you're a woman of many hats and can chime in here and there for different things, so and I know we could talk forever and a day. Where can the people find you at, on social media or on even by website?
So I do have a website. It's at Kesha Dunigan. .com. So you can find me there. You can also find me on Facebook as well. Email is KESHADUNIGAN @gmail.com. So you can email me, you can message me, or you can hit me up on my website.
Okay, and if you want to give any shout outs before we leave?
Well, I want to thank, of course, Stop Stealing Our Souls. Definitely want to
Yes,
thank
my
it.
sister.
Yes, absolutely. I want to send a shout out to my mentor and my apostle, Miss Marie Amistad, um, Touch of Grace Ministries. I thank you so much for the Tamika Joy Show. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Thank you for supporting me
absolutely.
healing. And you just have a blessed rest of your evening. And thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. I thank you again for being on the show. And this is our take on health and wealth, and discussing, of course, all the awareness for the month, for bullying and domestic violence and mental health. And if you know anyone that needs any help, please call. They have the national hotlines for all of them. And if you can't get to them, you can get to me first. Hey, I could definitely be able to help you out in any way. Thank you so much, Minister Dunnigan, for being on the show. I truly appreciate you.
Thank you. Good night.
Absolutely. Good night. Okay, y'all. So listen here. My child had an emergency, you guys. She was not going to be on the show today, but she will be here next week. Um, I'm going to show her flyer though, because she was going to talk a little bit about it, for the 31st. Oh, the 31st, the flyer of her and the 31st. There we go. Yeah, so the 31st at the Fillmore, this lady will be there, October 31st, with Big G's Masquerade Ball and Lady Casey's Birthday Bash. So that's Backyard Band and Black Alley. She will be up doing her thing, opening up for them at the Fillmore. So y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets. She's excited about it. We're excited about it. We definitely, she got a new single, and so she's going to be here next week to talk a little bit about the single and the mission and the journey and everything. So uh, kudos to you, Treasure Joy, my mini me. We're gonna bring our next guest up. It's a couple of them, you guys. It is some good friends of mine. I love hearing them. But before we bring them in, watch the video together? Is that okay? We watch the video of y'all. Can we watch the video? I got a clip of y'all doing y'all thing.
Keep me with me. I will hire something to me by you.
Ah, y'all
I
didn't
haven't
know
seen that
I
in a
had
minute.
you.
Oh, that was lovely.
I know
Oh, that was lovely.
you
I
had
haven't seen
that.
that in a minute.
How long was that? Tell me.
Oh man, where was that, Joe? Do you even remember?
Like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean it was a brick. Yeah, definitely. That was awesome. I love that, man. That was great. We got to do that one again.
Yes, we have the Two Raw Band Dance Hall is what they do in the DMV area. Welcome, you guys. Welcome so much. Thank you for being here on the show. I truly appreciate you.
You hit Benjamin. Did you tell him that we were back on yet?
I did not. I did see him come in a couple of times off and on. So if you want
Let
to
me
let
check
him
real quick. I'll be right. I'll be right back.
know.
he'll
Okay.
he'll be back in. He'll come back. He's excited. He's our bass player.
Yes, so also I was going to definitely let you guys introduce yourselves and what you do in the band, and when did you guys start? So I'll let you start, Joe, because um, you keep the beat going. So let's
Joe's the man. Joe's the man.
Foundation, right?
what you say?
I said I'm the foundation.
That's
That's
it.
it.
So
That's
tell
it.
the people a little bit about you.
Okay, well I've been playing off and on pretty much all my life, and we got started. I met Ryan. Uh, we was in another band together back in like 2009, eight. And that's how we met, and then we 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 played together for a while with the other band, the Sons of Solomon band, and then I left there. And I started doing some other stuff, and then we kept in touch. And then I met Reggie. I was playing with another band, and I met with Reggie, and then we gelled, and then somehow we linked up with Ryan, and we did that show. Ain't that how it went, Ryan? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, we were like, man, we can't stop doing this.
Yeah.
Ryan, you guys just saw that Ryan is the lead singer of this Two Raw band. But Ryan, tell the people a little bit about you.
Man, God's good. That's the biggest thing. Like I've been through ups, downs. Like we've been, like Joe said, we've been doing this a long time. I mean, I lost marriages over playing music sometimes. Like for real. The lady before us, bless that lady. I'm not sure what's her name, Kesha,
Dunigan.
um,
Hmm.
Dunigan. Man, what a special message for real. Like,
Yes.
being the voice of people that can't talk for themselves. Domestic abuse is a big thing. Like, Joe literally, he was there through the whole, like, that was why my son's band didn't work. Honest to God, was domestic abuse.
Mm.
My first marriage failed, like, literally because I had a woman that didn't see eye to eye with me, and instead of solving conflicts with peace and talking things out, it escalates. And I think the biggest thing is, if you don't have that voice, um, there's no way to stop that escalation.
Mm.
So I'm a segue out of that. But as far as I mean, that
It's
was
a
a decade ago. That was a decade ago. Me and Joe been through a lot. Like the Two Raw band, we've kind of, there's Benjamin.
yeah.
We've been through a couple iterations of people playing with us. Reggie had to leave for a little while.
Oh,
'Cause of some health reasons. Oh, he moved away, and then some health reasons, and he's doing better now, so he back. Um, and we picked up our main man Benjamin down there, playing some. He plays some bass, and I mean he kills it. And
Yeah.
we got another friend, Joe Lewis, that's been playing with us. And I mean, he's one of the most incredible guitar players I ever met in my life, you know. And we have a hand percussion player now, Ozzy, that plays with us too. And so really, it came from me, Joe, and Reggie playing for just freestyling kind of jazz style. You know,
Hmm.
we weren't even sure we were playing most times. We would just kind of like go off a vibe, and a lot of whatever we'd sing would come from scripture because like that's where my head at a lot of times, and so it just people like it, man. People need to hear that they're loved. People need to hear that, that kind of that love message, and the world kind of right now wants to teach fear, fear, fear. Put that mask on, hide, stay home, like do what you
Yeah.
got to do. You know what I'm saying? Stay healthy. Do like, but don't hide from each other. Like
Yeah.
Right.
community means common unity. Like simple as that. Like if you don't have that, group of people around you, it's that same thing. You don't have that voice.
Yeah.
Right.
If we're going through something and we're struggling, if you don't have somebody that's out there saying, "Hey, those people are struggling and they need some help," you might not be able to help them, but you might be able to tell somebody who is going to help them.
That's
And like so, but anyways, we're two raw band. We're about love, like, and that's the biggest thing, So we're gonna preach a positive message. We're gonna talk about some of the stuff that's going on, and the biggest thing is I'm gonna tell everybody that I see every day I love them. Like the spirit of Christ really needs to dwell everywhere if we're Christians. If you're a believer, if you're a Rasta even, like there's people that downplay people just because of dreadlocks or because of other stuff that they do. Like, and really, if you're a believer, you need to judge not unless you're going to be judged. Like you need to work on that. Like me personally, I'm not saying everybody. I don't want to be like, hey, everybody has to do this, and I'm not willing to. Like we need to love each other first. And
that's
so like I got this bracelet, and I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a two raw band, but it
hmm
says love first,
right.
and that's kind of our message. Like the first thing that I want to tell you is I love you. The last thing I want to tell you is I love you. You
Hmm.
know, so like we want to have fun. We want to go out. We want to play some good music. We want to talk about some stuff. But like at the end of the whole thing, like we want everybody to have that good vibration. Like people are going and listening to music. They want to go out and have a good time. They're going and listening to reggae. They want to have that positive vibe. Like come away feeling like they just went to a Bob Marley show. Like, and we want to carry that torch. As much as possible. So we bring some of those roots back. I mean, Benjamin, like that was the biggest like article vibe that I got was, I got one of my brothers, like he wears Selassie on his chest. Like you look at it right now, he wears Selassie right on his chest, and I don't know how many people know about Haile Selassie, but if you look him up, like back in the day, he was one of the biggest champions for Black people's rights, in Africa and abroad. He was they called him like he was a friend of Billy Graham. Like he was a religious, like people looked at him. I mean, knowledgeable man. If nothing else, when people scream Rastafari, it's not a hateful language. It's a hey, we love you, and we're gonna change this world that's corrupt and deceitful. Like we live in a Babylonian society. That wants to trick us. Like you were talking about, there's stuff going on. There is stuff going on that's trying
Yeah.
to stop you from doing what you're doing, to stop talking what we're talking about. Like, there's
Hmm.
spiritual warfare. You
It
listen to our
is.
song Confrontation, it says confrontation, healing of the nation. And it says spiritual war all over the world.
That's
Like,
it.
literally, that's what it's talking about. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's good
Yeah.
versus evil. Like, and they want to act like it's not.
Absolutely.
Um,
People and
but
people don't really think that it's true, but it's definitely true. Definitely true. Mr. Benjamin, how are you?
Hey,
Unmute yourself. How you doing?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
So tell the people a little bit about you, Mr. Benjamin.
Mm. Mr. Benjamin. First and foremost, Rastafari.
yes,
Mm.
Yes,
You know, that's basically what my life is. That's what I'm about. You
okay.
know, and you know, as far as King Selassie,
Mm.
what can I say about him? You know, the upliftment for all black people, and not just black people, because the message of Rastafari is one love amongst all people.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the reggae music goes, in Revelation saying in them times there will be a music that will bring the whole world together.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one music that brings the whole world together. And that's
Mm-hmm.
reggae music, no matter what style of reggae music. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and, people would call me um, a roots rocker bass player, as far as the reggae music goes, because I love the one drop and I keep it in the pocket, and that's
Mm.
where the bass is supposed to be. So, Benjamin is that type of person that tries not to let earthly things really try to stop him too much,
Mm.
because I don't know if you noticed when we met or you notice now. You know, I wear hearing aids,
Mm.
and I've lost probably about 75% of my natural hearing.
Mm.
And I came up in music, you know, like everybody in the church, you know,
Mm-hmm.
grew up in hip hop, R&B. In
Mm-hmm.
my 20s, got introduced to Bob. I'm what's
Mm-hmm.
called late bloomer. So once I heard the Wailers and the healing of the nation, I
Mm-hmm.
never looked back. And then um, I got interested in playing because I love the music so much. Now, in my younger days, you know, in my younger days,
Hello,
you
Gravy.
know, I was all about entertaining the people. You know, me and my brothers, we used to dance. And if
Mm-hmm.
you grew up in the 80s, you know, it was all about that hip hop breakdancing stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I come up. And then I just kind of transferred my dancing into playing my bass.
Mm-hmm.
And a
He
lot
still
of,
be dancing when he
yeah,
rocking, man.
man.
Yeah, you can tell. You just
And
watch him, man, and as soon as he's getting it,
well,
he's
you know,
dancing.
in my old age, I say I've slowed it down a little bit. You know, I'm not on the dance floor sweating myself to death. You know, I'm taking it, I'm grooving, I'm taking it easy. But um, like I said, I lost like 75% of my natural hearing,
Mm.
and but I didn't really want that to stop me, and for like um at least 20 years now, almost.
Mm.
You know, I've
Mm.
had people tell me, you know, you can't do it, can't do it. You know, I can't, you know, because you're hearing, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I decided to say, well, I'm just going to keep going anyway. So I'm here in Maryland,
Okay. You're Maryland.
um, but I'm actually from Virginia.
Okay. Me too. I
You
live in
know,
Maryland, originally from
um,
Virginia.
Yep.
and where I was living, I was trying to put together reggae music, trying to put together a reggae band, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what I kept getting, you know. And things happen on the course of life. Me and my queen, we moved to Maryland, you know. And the butt of the joke is, I left Virginia to find reggae music in another state. I ended back up in Virginia
He
to
still
find
got it
reggae music.
in
And
another
got
state.
it. And now
Yeah,
you're
I mean, yeah, man. So, you know, these guys gave me a shot. They didn't look at my hearing loss as a, you know, well, nah, you know, we
I
can't
love
play
it.
with you. You
I
know, it
love
was all about do what you feel.
Yeah.
Feel what play what you feel.
Right.
It doesn't matter about the hearing. Play what's in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been together almost 3 years.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
we just came through our second year anniversary.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
um, you just got to keep pressing on because you never know what door, Jah the Creator will open up for you. You know,
Yeah.
these guys
How
took a
awesome.
chance on me and said, well, let's see what he got. So when they first heard me, they were like, well, man, this dude can play, you know, and then just getting and just learning my drummer, learning his style, putting
Mm-hmm.
his style with my roots one drop.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put that type of funk slash reggae slash roots with a little bit of Rastafari sprinkled on top of it, it's two laws what you get. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
it's been an Ivory experience. You know, it's been a good experience.
That's good.
We've had our ups and downs.
Yeah. Which
Like
every
any,
does.
yeah, like any other band.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
in the end, the band is family.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's right.
and we gotta look. And and I tell people, it may look glamorous, it may sound all right,
Mm-hmm.
but doing what we do is like one of the most dangerous things in the world to do
Mm-hmm.
because the great Peter Tosh said it's a very dangerous thing to have the truth in your possession.
yep.
And that's what reggae music is all about.
Yes.
Truth and rights, truth and reality. And it's the truth that they don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And that what they don't want to hear is one love amongst all the people. You
That's
know.
it.
So in a nutshell, that's what Benjamin is about. You know. I like to
Benjamin!
get winded, but my wife says I like to get winded when I like to talk about myself. So I'll shut
You
up
got to
now.
talk a little bit about yourself, Mr. Benjamin. And I'm so glad to see that you are. Um, get some feedback from someone. It's so good to see that you have a challenge and still moving towards the journey, and that's what it's all about in life, because we're all at one point going to have something leave us, become ill in some form or fashion, not be able to stay up late at night like we used to, not be able to party like we used to, walk like we used to, run like we used to. It's something that's going to we become weaker, as we live, in some form or fashion. Even if it's the mind, we may be able to bench press a little bit, but we might not be able to mentally get things. So our minds weaken. And so with you having this, and then having Minister Dunigan on here, I wish you guys are within the same. She is verbally helping people with her. She's actually 100% deaf, and so with you having this and you still rocking on, both of you guys, I just want to say you both rock, and keep doing what it is that you're passionate about. And I absolutely love it, love it, love it. So kudos to you.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you. The only plug I really want to make is I guess on Saturday we're gonna be doing a show
Yes,
on 10 and Route One. Do you have the flyer?
we
Did
got
Joe
the
ever send it?
flyer. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, we
that was the only plug I want to make. We got yeah, there you go, there you go.
Yeah, man.
do.
But make sure to come out to the event. It's gonna be a great show.
And where is
We
this?
got
It's 18 for 18418 Jefferson Davis Highway. Where's that at? On the highway.
It's right on the corner, like of Route 1 and 610 where they intersect, in a quiet town center. It's
So it's in Stafford
Yep,
and Stafford, Virginia. Okay.
Stafford,
So
Virginia. Yep.
It's closer to Quantico though.
it's close to the Quantico. Okay.
Cause
So
we be
one between Quantico and Stafford, 18418 Jefferson Davis Road,
yeah, yeah.
October 23rd, 6 p.m. The Two Rob Band will be in the building, lighting it up. Always fire, right? More fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good night, man. It's gonna be great.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I definitely appreciate you guys. So I'm going to ask you because we were missing some of the other gentlemen. So tell the people. I mean, how many is it of you guys collectively?
We got six of us. Outside, I guess who you see, we got Reggie. Reggie Barnes. He's
Reggie Barnes
incredible
on the
keyboard player.
keyboard.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
and we got Joseph Fan Lewis on guitar, and I mean he's
Mm-hmm.
a incredibly accomplished guitar player, and Ozzy is our hand percussionist, and I mean they just brought some age and experience and a lot of good energy. Me and Joe Lewis have been recording like all this COVID thing, so we got another CD about to come out. So definitely just, check out tworawband.com. We'll have all the latest details, on whatever's upcoming projects. Um, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We've had time and we haven't been idle. Like really the whole idea, you plant good seeds, they're gonna come to, a good harvest. So, when stuff's a little quiet, sometimes, just tend your garden a little bit, and you can get some good fruit.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I
yes.
just want to let everybody know that the fruit's coming because we
oh
got
yeah,
some bushes.
yeah. A lot of
I love
seeds,
it. What you say, Joe?
a lot of seeds been planted. A lot of seeds.
Oh
Yes,
man, I'm telling you.
I'm so ready for it. I'm definitely ready for it. So I did have a question in regards to, you guys. I guess I was going to ask in regards to, what if anything's coming up, as far as y'all recording and getting it, in the studio and putting something out. What's the goal for Two Raw Band?
We
What's the
we
ultimate
dropped
goal?
the ultimate goal we to get glory to His Majesty. That I mean, hands down, that's it. Like we got a God, we got to praise Him, or the rocks are gonna start crying. And like
Mm,
so literally that's our goal.
yeah.
There's a lot of things that go on this world that are wicked. We want to spread a positive message. Like we've been here, like we've been given this whatever platform. So we're gonna use it. And
Amen.
so upcoming, we do have. I'm gonna very well try to put out a live CD
Okay.
from this past year, and we're all gonna practice tomorrow. So Lord willing, everybody shows up. Maybe I'll just record the whole thing, and we'll see. But we got that love first. Like I'm saying, we have a handful of songs that are original from this past year that we played live. That I look forward to getting in the studio over the winter time, and hopefully March, April we'll have a clean and pressed album for you guys.
Wonderful. I'll definitely be waiting for it. Definitely be waiting for it. Where can the people find you guys, as far as on social media? Yeah,
Everybody has their own stuff,
I mean,
mostly
starting from
it's
you.
tworawband.com. That's the main source for anything specifically to raw, related. Um, Joe
Yeah,
Beats, you could check anybody's Facebook. I think everybody probably has a professional page at this time. You know how they get as soon as you start to get enough people following you, they're like this, and this, and this. Uh, but check the Two Raw Facebook
To my
page.
Facebook page.
Um,
well, we
Okay.
got
Definitely check, the tworawband.com. That's
right,
the main source.
What you
right.
say,
Um,
Joe?
We
let,
got
yeah, let Joe tell it. He knows all this stuff. There he goes.
well, we got the Twitter. we got Twitter account. We got the Twitter band, Two Raw Band Twitter, and then
Okay.
we got Two Raw Band Instagram too, and then
Okay.
the Facebook,
Okay.
and then the Reverb Nation.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are on Reverb Nation. Okay, and then we can check out far as the different things that you guys got going on. Wonderful. How about you, Mr. Benjamin? Can the people find you on Facebook or Instagram?
Me, I'm just on Facebook.
Okay. Okay.
You know, um, and basically that's where you can find a lot of the live Two Raw Band stuff. If you go
Okay.
back, if you go to my page,
There's a
and
lot.
I guess go all the way ahead, because I share a lot of our stuff on my page.
Okay.
You
And
know,
where at on your page?
just to let just to let the people hear what we sound like when we're rehearsing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let them see us. You know, where we're not. You know, we're actually trying to do this, and then later when we do a show or something, you know, I usually post about one or two, you know, songs, whatever. But if you want to see a lot of our live stuff, you can see most of it on my page. So
Okay. Where's
that's
what's
what.
the name of your page?
Huh?
Where at? What's the name of your page?
Ain't it Benjamin Tafari? Benjamin Tafari.
I see you had to ask the queen.
Yeah, she rules, man.
Yo, she's
Yes,
the one.
queen.
She. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. She's the brains of the outfit. You know what I mean? I I'm not too much into the whole technical business. You know, yeah, I always got to
I
ask her a lot of
understand.
stuff, man. Because she's
No,
the one that basically set all
they
my.
say the man the head, but the
Yeah,
woman the neck. You turn the
yeah.
head whatever way.
She does most of well, actually she does all my recordings.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
Wonderful.
and
Love it.
yeah, I don't get all that. So I gotta ask her out.
Yeah.
I'm that old
I
school.
mean, hey,
I
that's
know a little
she's
bit to get
brilliant.
by, you know, but
Yeah,
I'd rather play my bass, you
that's it.
know.
That's what I said.
But
She's the
yeah,
yang to your yang.
a lot of our stuff is on my page if
I love
anybody
it.
wants to see it.
Okay, Miss.
Even all the way back from our recent stuff that we've done, you can actually go all the way back
There's a
to
lot.
see the first time Two Raw Band met the earthquake.
Mm.
All the way back to our
There's so
first
much. Like
beginning,
you want to see some stuff,
So,
man. I'm telling
and
you,
I'm
like there's
telling
some
you,
stuff in there.
that's not crazy. I did not give myself that name. I did not give myself that name. Reggie
Nah.
Barnes gave me that name.
Who was it
You
who
were
gave you the
So,
something.
name? Who
hmm?
you said? Who gave you the name?
Reggie Barnes.
Oh,
Miss
okay,
Scott,
okay.
I call him King Fingers. Reggie Barnes gave me that name. You know,
I
because
love it.
we was doing. I think it was the rehearsal at Joe's house one day we were doing, and he called me that, and I was like, that sounds thick. You know,
You
Remember
know
that?
you know, yeah,
what? I
that's
love
what they
it.
call me. So,
That's what's
and
up.
that's that's King Thunder. That's King Thunder.
Oh, it's
That's King Naya,
oh,
man.
yeah.
Reggie is King Fingers, and I'm the Earthquake.
Okay, all right. I
You
love it.
know, so it's all good.
Man, you guys are so awesome. I love what you're doing. I love your energy. I'm always have a great time listening to you guys, seeing you guys grow. Whatever I could do to be a help, definitely, I'm definitely open and willing to do that. Just keep doing what you're doing. Great things are ahead. Just keep, one love for one another and for his people, and he will direct your path. So many blessings to you guys, and thank you so much for being on the show. Any last shout outs before you leave?
Nah, man.
Here's
Sounds
my
good.
plug. Here's my plug for the show. Here's my plug. For everybody out there just struggling with a disability, don't let people tell you can't do nothing. Don't
That's right.
let people tell you you can't do what you love doing. I
Mm-hmm.
can't hear, but these guys love me anyway.
All things
Absolutely.
are possible through Christ who strengthens us. That's
There you
simple
go,
as that.
first.
Yeah.
From out of the mouth of someone that's dealing with it. Don't give up. How about you, Joe B? Any last words?
Shout out to Reggie Barnes, Reggie's King Finger Barnes.
Yes, Reggie. He's supposed to have been on the show too, so I'm gonna get him too.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he's not. He tried. He's not in front of the camera person. So we know what that's all about. How about you, Ryan? Any last shout outs?
Nah, man, I love you guys. Thank you for having us on here. I guess Reggie, and Joe and Ozzy too, because they ain't here. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we love you guys, man. Like for real. Thank you so much for having us on here. Again,
Absolutely.
check out Two Raw Band. It's all about love. That's it.
Yes. Thank y'all so much. Truly appreciate you. God bless.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. So y'all have it. Another show, The Stars with Tamika Joy. We thank you so much for watching. God willing, I'll see you back next Friday. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Thanks.
Weekend.
It's the stars with Tamika Joy. It's the stars with Tamika Joy.